There we go. Hi, Kaplan. Thank you for taking the
Hello.
time to speak with me. And I want to start by offering commiserations on the loss today.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, I wish we were speaking again under more favorable circumstances. I feel like every time I speak with you, it's right after a tough series loss. So yeah, it kind of sets the mood. I just kind of want to start by saying, first of all, well played to the series today, and kind of ask like, so what was Sentinel's preparation like, and how was the sort of energy like coming into today's game?
We did a great deal to prepare. We spent a ton of time, everyone getting ready, talking as a team, scrimming as a team, watching VODs together, watching VODs separately, presenting anti, so on and so forth. Like it was a ton of work. We definitely felt like we wanted to come in with a huge upper hand and
Hmm.
get the win out of the way, make upper finals, have some time. And I think we did a really, really good job preparing. We all felt good about our plans.
Yeah.
And the energy was definitely good. Like people were definitely excited and confident, and obviously, as you can see from how Haven went, we started off on the right foot.
I certainly saw that. You guys were looking incredibly good on Haven and then like towards Lotus as well. Even though you guys eventually lost the map, it was still a really highly contested map. You guys played well for it. I want to ask where along the entire series do you think it sort of fell to the wayside? Just sort of speaking as a coach.
Yeah, I think Lotus defense is a hard half to play against their comp.
Hmm.
They play in a pretty unique way, and the answer we all concluded on, like in terms of game plan to play around them, is not something we have done a lot on our Lotus defense before.
Yeah,
So we were in a pretty good spot, but we made like small mistakes or like goof a certain mid round or something because you can't have everything protocoled out when you're doing new stuff like that.
sure.
And I think it made us drop a few rounds here and there. It was a little bit frustrating for people,
Hmm.
but at the end of the day, like 6-6 exiting the half,
Yeah.
uh, you know, we all felt the same, and I told them too, like, hey, we got six against a monster attack comp, and now we should be in control.
Hmm.
And then I think we just didn't seem to have our normal kind of calm demeanor and control on Lotus attack. Like the mid rounds were just very, very messy and kind of all over the place. And then it just I feel like it kind of spun out from there. I time out it to try to fix it. I'll go back and listen to that and figure out if there's anything I could have done differently or better to reset our mental in a different way. But
Hmm.
it definitely felt like the team just couldn't pick it up. And then, very unfortunately, obviously couldn't pick it up going into map three either.
The last time we spoke, I think one of your primary concerns was how a lot of games sort of slips out of your control because the team sort of goes quieter when the rounds aren't really going your way. Was this still an issue, or is this not really something that was a main factor in sort of how it spun out of control?
Absolutely. I think it was the number one issue. Um, I think of a team's energy like tug of war or like dominoes,
Yeah.
right? Uh, one or two people start pulling really hard on the ropes, and toward positivity or confidence. You need people to step up and do it, and sometimes it feels like um, almost everybody on the team is waiting around for somebody else to do that. And what happens with that is it turns into a game of dominoes where all the pieces are falling and it spirals. So um, I think that that I think Jordan does a really good job
Hmm.
trying to pull the energy up and lead. But I think that when we're going through that, but I think everyone else on the team could make more effort and do better
Yeah.
to lift things back up. And that's definitely what I'm planning to talk to them about after we get back tonight, and hoping we can fix tomorrow so that we don't just test spiral in these games.
I was watching one of the co-streams, and FNS was talking about how coming out of the group stage, you guys took down Gen G. I don't think there's possibly any bigger confidence boost than taking down probably the biggest favorites in this tournament. So how exactly did that sort of confidence not carry over? I guess it carried over in the RX series, but how did it not carry through this EDG series as well? Like where did it sort of run out gas?
Yeah, I mean, it's when you show up and the other team doesn't, and they're having their own issues, and you're winning every pistol, you're winning every bonus,
Yeah.
and strategies working, and people show up right. Then it's easy to keep that momentum going. It's
Hmm.
how do we pick ourselves back up and keep it from spiraling when it starts to slip in a game? We haven't run into that situation yet. We came into a Genji who seemed out of it, and we had a great day and won every pistol and bonus.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had a good time against FPX. It wasn't exactly a hard game for us. And then same thing with DRX, right? Like
Yeah.
Sunset was tough for sure, but all in all, like we haven't like had a lost half or like really felt something slip since our first series against Gen G. So I think coming in with confidence and being able to keep it, when you have it is one thing. Trying to keep it and pick yourself back up when things are starting to spiral or feel really uncomfortable or not go according to plan is obviously a different skill set
Hmm.
and currently a weak point for us. There's just no doubt about it.
Absolutely, and that kind of brings it perfectly to my point because I want to speak as well. The last time I spoke with you, obviously it was it was a tough loss against Gen G. Since then, you guys have gone 6-0 in terms of record. You beat 2-0 FPX, 2-0 Gen G, and then 2-0 DRX as well. So I just want to ask some of the corrections, I guess, or the adjustments that you guys did after that initial opening series, and self how how well the team's been performing. Do you have any reflections on that?
Like after the first Gen G game.
Yeah, so after first Gen G game, your 6-0 record, not counting today, of course, but like yeah, well technically 7-0.
Yeah, I mean obviously like the on the strategy side, I think things are going pretty well until today. Like the comps are running, the agents people are playing, the game plans are going in with feel pretty comfortable. But I think the bottom line is like, I've said it and I'll keep saying it. Like when you have games that are complete blowouts, 13-5s, 13-6, 13-7, it usually comes down to some momentum and confidence and energy and something fundamental happening
Yeah,
with either one or both of the teams. So I think we found ourselves and really understood how to just make a totally tunneled goal of please keep talking to each other, please stay working together, please stay flowing, please hold each other accountable when that stuff's not happening. And we did a really good job doing that again and figuring out that. But building confidence from that and winning and then starting to slip and lose rounds even when doing that
yeah.
is obviously something we weren't ready to handle today.
Okay. And then speaking of handling, then you had a week after your initial loss to start prepare for FPX, but now you've only got a day to turn over, less than a day to turn over until Fnatic. I know this is obviously this is a monumental task that you have to deal with after we talk today. What's sort of your gonna be your main focus points, I guess, just sort of getting the boys ready for tomorrow's game against Fnatic.
Yeah, we got to fix our own stuff, obviously. Like today was just, we fell apart and we need to make sure that doesn't happen again. So tonight, in terms of what I'm doing with the guys, it's just going to be about ourselves. What happened out there? What does everybody think happened out there? Let's all come to a conclusion together. Let's listen back to the game and let's all talk about what we can do to prevent that, both individually from any one person and as a team. And even for myself, I'd love to get some feedback from them. So let's just get to the bottom of what happened and make sure that that can't, we can't, we're going to have a hard game, right? Like
Yeah,
it's fair to assume against Fnatic that there's going to be ups and downs, right? I don't want to go in planning the only
for sure.
win with a bunch of pistols and bonuses. I'd like to be able to win a hard one too. And right
Yeah.
now, it's impossible to say we'd be able to do that. I think after a good team meeting,
Mhm.
we will be able to say, yeah, we can win an easy game tomorrow and we can win a hard game tomorrow. So making sure we're in a spot to do that, and then obviously going to be a really long night for Drew and I to focus on Anti and try to focus on it in a way that's realistic. How can you apply all of it and just fix our own stuff? Just it's different when you have such a short turnaround strategy. You need to make it more digestible for the team and even in terms of our own workload, sometimes you kind of have to lean into what you're assuming will happen with the veto instead of just preparing for every possible veto scenario.
Yeah.
Just stuff we already learned how to do in Madrid, so
It's
we'll do
basically
it again
just
here.
being more flexible, right? You don't really have that sort of luxury of a long turnaround time and prep time.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair
Yep.
enough. Okay. Final question. This was my last question as well when I asked you the last time, which was sort of your expectations for the rest of Madrid. A lot has changed since then. At the time, you guys were lower bracket, one game away from exiting from Seoul. Now you guys have made top six. You were in a position to make top three. You guys are still in a good position to to continue in this tournament. You still have another life. Has that expectation evolved since the initial talk?
Expecting, hoping to to keep it together for the rest of the tournament. We're at the end of a year here. It's not Madrid. It's not March. It's not about learning lessons. It's about applying the lessons we've learned. We've learned enough lessons that if we apply them, we will be in a position to win this tournament. We're not in a spot at August with this team where, with all the playing we've done, we should be losing games to learn big lessons anymore. Definitely no more room to do that, obviously. So the expectation is to consistently apply everything we've learned and show up consistently, and hopefully all the work we do individually and with strategy and everything else goes according to plan. But
Mhm.
what's my expectation? That we just show up and stay the team people are used to watching
Yeah.
through and through, no matter the score and no matter the map and no matter the opponent and no matter the stakes. I would really hate to have what happened today happen again at this tournament.
Yeah.
I will walk away from this tournament very proud of my team and our run, no matter what happens, as long as it doesn't happen anymore. If it does happen, then win or lose, um, that would be an absolute shame for us and the fans to not show the best we can show.
Okay. Um, as I end this interview, do you have any final words you want to say to the fans? Any reflections or anything I didn't perhaps get a chance to talk on? And most importantly, do you have any words for Fnatic for tomorrow?
For the fans, just thank you to those of you who stay believing in us. Obviously, we give our all and we work our hardest, and we want nothing more than to do our best and win. And I know the fans feel the same and want the same. So thank you for staying believing in us. And nothing for Fnatic. Focus on ourselves. And hey, I recommend they stay up super late, have a bunch of drinks. We look terrible today. Take a seat, relax. Don't worry too much about anteing. You guys got this tomorrow. We'll be
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, we're not a threat at all. Like, don't worry too
Yeah.
much about us.
Yeah.
All right. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you, Kaplan. I hope I left you in a slightly better mood than when I found you. And best of luck for tomorrow's games as well.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.